Another blitz. He gets it out to Metcalf. Good catch. Can't get away from the tackler out to the 42. Brooks, who has been very busy tonight, makes the stop. Metcalf likes that spin move. In whatever direction he's going, he likes to stop and go the other way.
Well, it looked like they had a nice play there. They used Tony Jones to run off the secondary. They had Metcalf going underneath, but that ball was tipped a little bit. Slowed Metcalf up, and by the time he gathered it in, he had nowhere to go.
3rd and 5 for Texas. Clock a factor now. 6.5 minutes left. Texas A&M showing blitz again. Stafford unloads, and Gay can't get to it. Jeff Holley was out there on the coverage, but the pass was just thrown wide of Gay.
I'll tell you, A&M's not trying to disguise anything. They're stepping right up the line of scrimmage. They're telling Brett Stafford, you're going to have to beat our blitzes. We're coming after you.
And Texas will punt with 6:23 to go. Hear a few boos coming out of the stands. We'd like to see him go for it here. 6:23 enough time, Pat?
I think with 4th and 5, you got to go here. It'd be different if it was 4th and 15 or something. You got a chance, 4th, 5, or 6.
Because they need 2 scores. Waits the punt. Low line drive kick, and Harris has to let it bounce, trying to get it on the bounce. Took a big gamble there and is buried at the 18-yard line. 6 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the ball game. Timeout on the field. We'll be back in a moment.
There's something new on the road. It's built by Jeep. It's the kind of truck only Jeep could build. But it's also the kind of truck just about anybody can afford. The new short bed Jeep Comanche Sport Truck. It's worth a look.
2-1 the count.
Hi, honey, I'm home. Ooh, I like the way it looks.
I'll be finished soon.
Oh, good. Look, I bought you some new fishing clothes.
Hey, those are nice. Thanks. In fact, I'll wear them this afternoon.
From work to weekends, Dickies are America's favorite work clothes, made with Celanese Fortrel polyester.
The crowd at Memorial Stadium in Austin, Texas, not nearly as boisterous unless you're looking at the A&M side. One of the key plays of the ball game, A&M punting after a drive was stopped, and we have a roughing call with the score tied at 3-3. That penalty kept the drive alive, and Murray hits Harris in the end zone. Watch the catch.
And this is a bullet. He pulls it down just an inch or so off the ground and holds on.
The brilliant grab. That made it 10-3. Right now we're at 16-3. 6:14 to go in the game. A&M has the ball inside its own 20-yard line. Texas gambled, not going for a 4th down run, and punted the ball away. Their defense is going to have to get the ball back twice. And we got a late hit in there as Matt Wilson, the center, came out and knocked down Stephen Braggs in the secondary. And Braggs wanted a call on it, didn't get it. A&M has just dominated the second half, Pat.
Well, you look at A&M for the game. They've run the ball 40 times as a team. 33 times carried by Roger Vick. You're going to the right guy. That's good coaching.
He can be too tired to eat turkey tonight. You have to feed it to him a bite-sized piece at a time.
You may have to go to Stouffer's turkey.
2nd and 5. They'll give it to Vick again. Not much on this one. Aldridge, the first man in there as he gets back to the 25-yard line. But the big part is the clock. You can see it in the upper part of your screen. Under 5:30 and counting. Fred Akers, whose career at Texas will be decided by the university on Saturday. And he may be watching that clock, too, after 10 years as the Longhorn head coach. Maybe counting down his tenure.
You mean that 10 years and the tenure?
No. You are the punster. Now the clock stops with 5:07. And now they'll restart it. And with a fresh 25 seconds on the play clock.
You put it up here on 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 4, are you going to run it?
Not me. I'd run it. But that's why I'm up here.
I say they throw it.
And Murray is back to throw. Blitz. And it's complete to Woodside. Woodside across midfield. Well, Coach, hats off to you.
Well, I got to admit, I cheated a little bit. The Texas coaches told me that in the last 4 games, A&M had 46 plays with 3rd and 4 or more. They threw it 44 times. They threw it again here. You got to admire them. They have confidence in this, and they blitz. They have confidence they can get this ball. Woodside read that blitz. Nice throw by Murray. First down.
Murray threw that off 1 foot, falling back under pressure.
And watch the hit he takes. Those quarterbacks seldom see their completions, you know it?
Laid it right in there. 4:26 to go. That might have done it. They can run enough time off of it now. And Roger Vick back to the well. Stood up by Brawner, number 85, the first man in there. Texas A&M got ready for this game under some circumstances I'm sure Jackie Sherrill didn't like. 5 of his players who have not been identified are going to be arrested next week for illegal use of telephone credit card numbers. A track member was suspended last week, but the football players will not be dealt with until this week. It will be interesting to find out who those gentlemen are.
A lot of whispering and murmuring around the Southwest Conference that they'd wait until after this game to suspend those players.
And obviously that's what they're doing. Whatever the reason is, we'll have to wait until next week to find that out. We have a timeout here in Austin with 4:06 to go in the ball game. It's a 13-point lead.
The new Jeep Wrangler is a vehicle that's ready for anything. Naturally, it's tough. But it also has a tailgate that makes cargo easy to get to. A tight-fitting, soft top. So Wrangler really is ready for anything. Even the environment Jeep drivers dread most. Civilization.
Students are always going places. Now there's a powerful computer that can go with them. The IBM PC Convertible. It goes from chemistry to economics, from ancient civilization to modern civilization. The IBM PC Convertible is a smart gift because students can carry an IBM computer anywhere, even into the future.
Live CFA. Have it all.
We have 4 minutes and Texas and A&M in control, 16-3, and they have the football. 2nd and 9 from midfield. Option again to Vick. And Vick pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Should have enough for the first down. That is the 37th carry tonight for Vick. Matt Greer holds the school record for carries in a single game at 41. And I'll bet Vick hopes he doesn't break that one.
You hate to see any record fall.
There's the sentiment we'll go with. Keith Fred and ESPN. Fred Akers has done so many good things here. But right now, he is going to be the coach of the first losing Texas team in 30 years, and that does not go down well here. Vick. Now, that's last year's sweatshirt or T-shirt, but it'll work for this year.
They'll probably put one on the back. They can have one on the front and the back.
Get more space. Yeah, somebody's got the stencil out tonight. Texas bench is not a happy place to be. They were fired up in the first half when they had a 3-0 lead and were playing brilliant football. 2nd and 4. A&M is working on the clock, and there goes Woodside. A rare carry from scrimmage for him.
It's really unusual to see a tailback so seldomly used.
Yeah. Aldridge and Espinoza on that last tackle. And we've got a timeout called by the Longhorns. 3:08 left. It's A&M by 13.
ESPN Home Video presents Teaching Kids Football with Bo Schembechler. This 75-minute video cassette is designed to show parents and youth coaches how to teach children the basic fundamentals and techniques of the sport in a safe and fun way.
We want this to be a very positive experience for the young people that are playing their first or second year of football.
Bo begins the training with the basics of offense and defense, describes the kicking game, including punting and place kicking, and then moves into drills to improve agility. Bo also stresses the importance of mental attitude and safety to start kids off right in the game of football.
This is not big-time football. It's Little League football, and it's played for fun.
Teaching Kids Football with Bo Schembechler. ESPN Home Video.
Saturday, see a college football special live.
Down there, Tim.
I tell you, fellas, Fred Akers, it seemed, had everything going for him going into this game. He had the red candles coming in, the hex of Texas A&M. He got the 3-0 lead. And traditionally, when Texas A&M's bonfire in College Station falls before midnight, they always lose. That even happened. The bonfire fell at about 9 o'clock or so in College Station. So it seemed everything was going his way. But I'd like to point back to that last series towards the end of the first half. We talked about that big play, of course, for Texas A&M on the block punt and the roughing the kicker. But that pass play to Shea Walker up and down the field towards the end of the half set the tone for that first drive.
Well, you're right, Timmy, and it did. It changed the defenses for Texas, and they couldn't play the way that they had been playing when they came out in the second half.
Slater's got a 48-yard field goal. He has hit 3 out of 4 tonight. His miss was from 48. What a leg. But it's wide. For distance, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody that can kick the football that way. There's the timeout with 2:39 left to go in the game. We'll be back in a moment.
Jeep Cherokee has just been reborn. It can now be ordered with a 4-liter, 6-cylinder, 173-horsepower engine. Nothing in Cherokee's class even comes close. In fact, with this engine and a choice of 2 or 4 doors and 2 shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive systems, you could say nothing's in Cherokee's class.
Why sit in the doldrums when you can ride the crest?
The Atlantic difference.
Get the Atlantic difference. 8% on your money market, guaranteed for 2 months. Call 1-800-4-ATLANTIC and make more money with Atlantic's money market. 8% guaranteed for 2 months. Call the Atlantic coast to coast for an 8% money market. The Atlantic, member FSLIC.
The Longhorn bench still holding out some hope, but there's only 2:39 left, and they're down by 13. They need to score and score in a hurry. Longhorns will have the ball at their own 32. And for one of the few times, there's no blitz. And they'll give it off to Norris. Norris chased out of bounds to the 36-yard line. And now the Boo Birds really come out of the stands after that call. We want to thank everybody that's been involved with our ESPN telecast, beginning with our coordinating producer, Terry Lingner. Our producer tonight down the truck, John Wildhack, along with director Mark Payton. A great job from everybody. Our associate director, Freddie Godelli. Our associate producer, Barry Sachs. Our operation production manager, Russ Gabay. Our cameramen, Tim Elson, Mike Miller, Phil Moore, Tony Marshall, Chris Rakoff, John Woodhead as the sack of Stafford by Holland. And they just come after Texas. They have been after Brett Stafford all the second half, and they've gotten to him most of the time.
Johnny Holland's done most of the damage this half, all over the field.
Continuing with our cameraman list for tonight, John Bodecker, Terry Jones, our Chiron operator, Al DePrato, videotape, John Lunsford, Alex Williams, Keith Bozart. Stafford, deep sideline pattern will be incomplete, and this is going to bring up 4th down. Our audio man, Bill Williams, and video, Rod King. Our engineer in charge, Keith Blatchley, and Dr. Statistics, Chuck Freeby.
And one name I would like to...
all of those people, you know, Pat, really want to say hello to their families on Thanksgiving. They, of course, couldn't be with them tonight.
Well, I've been waiting 2 months to thank Frank Ross, who's the resident historian and research man in Bristol, Connecticut. He certainly helped me. He knows the game as well as anybody in the country.
Gives us some great notes. This is 4th and 16. Last gasp for Texas. 1:58 left. A&M showing blitz again, and here they come after Stafford. He unloads, and it's incomplete. Throwing down the middle of the field. Norris trying to come out of the backfield. Nelson was also down there, but that is going to be it for Texas. And the A&M sideline celebrating their Southwest Conference championship, and they will be going to the Cotton Bowl.
Well-deserved berth also. You know, coming into this season, before they lost to LSU, they were rated by #1 by one publication, top 5 by everybody, and they showed why tonight. They just have talent across the board. They lost a couple tough games to Arkansas and LSU, both excellent teams, or they'd be undefeated.
And there is Fred Akers, whose record is going to fall to 5 and 6, and whose fate will be decided Saturday here at the University of Texas after 10 years at the helm. And now A&M, all they have to do is run out the clock. And Roger Vick still in there, still running hard, plows to the 22. And no matter what the rest of the season has been like for both of these teams, this game means more than anything. And for Texas, it has been a long year, especially with a proud history of Longhorn football. But these kids will be back. They had a tremendous number of injuries this year, especially at linebacker and on the offensive line.
And it's just so tough. You know, Coach Akers has been under fire all year. It's so tough to get ready for games when your leader is being questioned.
Roger Vick again, going for that number of carries record for the school, which is at 41. He's at 40 right now. Now, we won't find out until Saturday, but the betting is against that man. We're down to 50 seconds. And there is the Southwest Conference Championship ring. And they had one, now they will get another. And they won't have to share it with Baylor and Arkansas. It's going to be all theirs. 32 seconds left. Roger Vick again. Texas going for the football as he gets down to about the 17-yard line. We invite you to stay tuned for the Sports Center with Bob Lee and Alan Massengale coming up next. And Jackie Sherrill has won it A&M's record will go to 9-2, and the Aggies will march into the Cotton Bowl as Southwest Conference champions as they have beaten the Texas Longhorns 16-3. A great comeback for Jackie Sherrill and his staff because they were being whipped at halftime, even though it was a 3-3 tie. Texas A&M was being outplayed by Texas. They made great adjustments at the half.
Well, they made some adjustments, and, Timmy B was talking about the hex and all these superstitions, but there's one thing you can't replace, and that's talent. Texas came out with a good game plan, but eventually they just lost their superior ability. Kevin Murray picked his receivers well. Roger Vick ran, and Fred Akers shaking hands right there with Jackie Sherrill.
I'm sure wishing him well as would anyone who knows Fred Akers. And the eyes of Texas being played. I'll tell you the truth, there are a lot of people in Fred Akers' situation who would not have stopped while they played the eyes of Texas. If he thought it was all over, or if he didn't care about Texas football, he'd have been out of here.
Well, he's a nice man. We went around the country this year. I had an opportunity to meet a lot of head coaches, a lot of powerful men. Fred Akers is one of the nicest men I've ever met. He handled the situation with class. He just didn't have the people this year.
Yeah. Of course, on the other side of the coin, there's Jackie Sherrill, a man who can rightfully celebrate another great season, and he has had nothing but tremendous talent, tremendous football team since he came down to Texas A&M. They brought him in to do one thing, that was to win football games. Boy, has he done it.
He is a great recruiter. He brings in athletes and builds offenses and defenses around him, and you have to really have to compliment him on that. That's a good coach when you use your personnel, and not only use your personnel, but create the personnel.
That's right. Glad you could be with us from Austin, Texas. You are listening to the Hartford Insurance Group College Football Report, our post-game show from Memorial Stadium. And Tim Brando is down on the sideline with Jackie Sherrill, who is now the coach of the champion Texas Aggies.
And for a second time, I might add. Is it sweeter the second time around to be kingpin of the Southwest Conference, Coach?
Well, you're going to have to give credit to all our seniors because they are the ones that hung in there and made it happen. And not only did make... Hey.
Just watch it. One more time.
Not only did they make it happen, but we played without 3 defensive starters tonight, and you have to give the credit for a lot of young people. But our players, when they came here, they were ready to play, and they were going to play.
This was an emotional group from Texas. They got the early lead, but I felt that drive with 1:38 left at the end of the first half was the catalyst. You got the ball in Walker's hands, and that seemed to help you the second half.
Well, I think, we didn't catch the ball right at first. We dropped some balls, but the thing that really helped us is that, we've been behind before. We've been behind 14 times in the last 2 years. But it is a great feeling because our seniors, it really didn't make any difference when we came here as far as going to a bowl game. But our players deep down wanted to win the conference outright. That was one of their goals and one of the things they had, and we did it. And you got to give all the seniors the credit.
In the opening drive of the third quarter, after the roughing the kicker penalty, then you were able to make it happen with the touchdown. Harris made a great catch. That was right off the turf there.
Well, Kevin's the one that made the play.
Yeah.
We had a route called to Bernstein, but Kevin came back and threw the touchdown. But the big throw was when we had a third down and we were really throwing a halfback out.
Right.
And they overplayed him, and Woody made the cut, but Kevin made the correction. You look at Kevin Murray tonight, and I don't know if it's any better around. I've played with Namath, Sloan, Stabler, and Hunter, and I've coached some great ones, but he's a great football player.
When you had to control the game and put it away, Vick was the man of the hour. He definitely controlled the game offensively in the running game in the second half.
There's no better back in this conference than Vick, and Roger had an opportunity to show some things, but Roger, you can count on Roger every down, and we did a good job up front. They came out and playing 5 defensive backs, and we were making adjustments where they were giving us the bubble, meaning they didn't have anybody over a tackle, and we kept running the ball over the tackle.
Jackie, I know I asked you if it's sweeter the second time around earlier, but the thing I'd like to ask you now is, given the fact that you've won your second championship, you have to remember the lean years as well. It wasn't easy to reach this zenith, which Texas A&M has reached here the last 2 years.
Well, I wouldn't have been there if it was going to be easy.
Congratulations to you. As they say in College Station, you gigged them tonight.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Jackie Sherrill, the head football coach of the Texas Aggies, rolling that white towel. And he has the rest of the Southwest Conference surrendering for the second consecutive year. We'll be right back to Austin.
Experiencing.
What chance would you stand as a player? I imagine no player talks back to him in a meeting.
Absolutely none. Our Hartford player of the game tonight for Texas A&M, senior fullback Roger Vick, ties the school record, 41 carries, and for Roger Vick, 167 yards on the night. And when they needed to go to the ball control, big number 43 was there, inside, outside on the option, also caught a couple of passes, just turned in a great performance for Jackie Sherrill's Aggies. Final score, 16-3, A&M over Texas. And tonight's Canon Camera Player of the Game, as chosen by ESPN's production staff, is brought to you by Canon Cameras, so advanced they're the world's leader in 35mm photography. And here is the play of the game. Kevin Murray to Rod Harris, who goes over the middle, is wide open. Murray drills it, and Harris makes a fingertip catch an inch off the turf in Austin. We'll be back to wrap it up in just a moment.
I've always been afraid of two things.